Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy Boogeyman Ben here for a new episode of Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone, and today's video is going to be talking about the new Ridley Scott film, Alien Covenant. Oh, and going to see the film today, I had to wear my Alien shirt from Fright Rags. I've had this shirt since Prometheus came out, and it's one of my favorites, so I had to sport this one going to see the film today. Initially, I had wanted to do an Alien retrospective video, but didn't think I was going to get a chance to do it just because of time and things like that. I just didn't have the chance to do a review of all of the Alien films. I've already talked about Prometheus. I did a review of Prometheus 5 years ago when it first came out, and I have it on Blu-ray. I love this film. I loved the film the first time I saw it. I loved that it was different. I loved the practical effects. I loved the originality of the story. I love that they weren't relying so heavily on what we had already come to know from the Alien universe, that this was going to be focusing on the engineers, which was a character that we see briefly in the first Alien film. Don't know a lot about them. For a long time they were called the Space Jockey. They started calling them the engineers in this film, that they were the creators of life, and that is what the main focus of this film was to find out where we came from and what these beings represent. And I really like the originality of it, and I love Ridley Scott coming back to the sci-fi horror genre. But there were a lot of people that did not like this film because it did not feature the xenomorph character that we have come to know from the Alien franchise. It took a long time for this new film to be made. It took 5 years. And I was kind of curious where they were going to go, what route they were going to go, because the way that that film leaves off is you kind of get a sense that it's going to be exploring the engineers' planet, where they came from, and that's where Shaw and David are going at the end of the film. There will be spoilers in this video because I feel like I can't do this review unless I do have some spoilers, so I'll put spoilers in the title, I'll put spoilers down below. If you haven't seen the film, I really recommend you not watching this video. Go see Alien Covenant first and then come back and watch this, because I have to talk about, the things I like about Alien Covenant and also the things that I wasn't crazy about, or things that I really was disappointed in, and the only way I can do that is if I talk about them, pretty much in detail. But first, before I get ahead of myself, we'll talk about the cast in the film is fantastic. Of course, you have Michael Fassbender, who I'm a big fan of, but he plays not only the character of David, but also a character named Walter, another android named Walter. Then you have Kathleen Watterson as Daniels. You have Billy Crudup as Orem. You have Danny McBride as Tennessee. You have Damien Buchler as Cope. And then you have Carmen Jogo as Karen. So the title Covenant refers to the ship in the film, and the entire crew on the ship, they are all couples. And pretty much what the Covenant is it's a colony ship. It's on a destination to a specific planet. The crew, because of an incident that occurs really early in the film, they encounter what they think is a distress beacon that is leading them to a different planet. They go to this planet, and it's almost like a paradise-like planet that has no inhabitants. It's completely devoid of anything. But what they encounter there is a creature unlike any other they've ever seen. And so I wanted to see what happened to Elizabeth Shaw, who was the main character that Noomi Rapace played in Prometheus. Because at the end of Prometheus, her and David are the sole survivors, and they go off to find the engineer's planet. So I thought that was going to be interwoven into the story for Alien Covenant, and it wasn't. Like I said, we get a brief glimpse of Shaw. There are references to her. But at the end, that part of it was really disappointing to me, because I really liked that character and was hoping that maybe she would be like the Ripley of this trilogy, where she would be the character that we follow through the course of these 3 films. The other issue for me with this film, the crew of this colony ship were all couples. And there's a scene that was supposed to happen, I think, before the film film really kicks into gear, where it shows all of them talking about this journey that they're going on, this mission, this thing that they're going on to start a new colony on another planet, and it shows all the couples together. That wasn't even in the movie, but it is in the trailer. And I think if we would have had that scene where you got to know them a little bit and understood, who was married to whom, and how these relationships were. I think it would have made some of the events that happened very early in the film more impactful, because when they just happen, you don't know these characters at all. And that was something I thought was a little strange, that they excised that from the film. But otherwise, I mean, I think the film was really well done. For standouts for me, I think Danny McBride was fantastic in the film as Tennessee. I love that guy, and I'm so glad he's writing the new Halloween film. I think he was one of my favorite characters in the film. Of course, Michael Fassbender as Walter and David, just amazing. I mean, there's a scene where they're both talking to each other, and you really feel like, because Michael Fassbender is such a great actor, you really feel like they're two different characters. Colleen Watterson, at first I wasn't really crazy about her. I really missed, again, going back to Noomi Rapace, I really missed her, and I really wish they somehow could have put her in this film a little bit more, or made her the main character in this film. But as the story progressed, I really liked her character. It just took probably about an hour into the film before I started warming up to her character. And eventually, I really did like her character, and think she did a fantastic job. It's directed by Ridley Scott, so it is beautiful. It is absolutely fantastic looking. Just practical locations. I know they did do, of course, some CGI and things like that, and but you really feel like you're on this world with these people, and just the beautiful landscapes. Ridley Scott is just a master filmmaker, and I'm so glad that he's come back to this horror sci-fi genre. Also, this movie is very, very gory, which just, for me being a gore hound, and there's some really jaw-dropping moments. Yeah, I can't say that, it's a perfect film, but I do think it's a really well done film. Give this film a chance, because I think it really is interesting. It's scarier than Prometheus. I have to say that is very scarier, much scarier than Prometheus was. Prometheus was more about discovery, whereas this one's more about, I feel like there's a lot more action in this film. There's a lot more terrifying moments, a little bit more reminiscent of the Alien film that Ridley Scott directed. But yeah, if I had to give this one a rating on my scale, I would give this one 3.5 skulls. So that is my review of Alien Covenant. Like I said, I do have some spoilers in here. I hope that people will go and check it out. If you haven't already checked it out already, I hope that if you watch this video, you already have said it, because I warned you guys with the title and, in the subject header. Yeah, if you guys have seen the film and you want to share your thoughts, please do so in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from everyone. And as always, thanks so much for watching Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy, stay scared.